psychological safety. So psychological safety is when an employee says, I feel safe that I can suggest new ideas, or boss, I feel mentally safe that I can challenge your own idea and you're not going to be faulting me for it. I'm challenging your idea because even if I respect you, I know that I can contribute something to the project. Psychological safety also is the ability of your direct reports to say something that you need to improve on, such as, boss, I think you're micromanaging me already. Or, boss, I think we're conducting too many meetings and I don't think we need to conduct them 3 or 4 times a week. I think we can do with just once a week, for example. That's psychological safety. So it's the ability of an individual to feel safe that there is respect, there is civility and professionalism. But when I say something to you, it's not because I want to offend you, but because I want everyone in this team to become better. So my question now is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how psychologically safe do you think your employees are if you as a leader, when you interact with them, scale of 1 to 10? Could you please type? How psychologically safe do you think your employees are? Or if you don't have direct reports, your colleagues who work with you. In my case, I think I'm confident in this part. Number 8, I think I have employees who are in number 7, but I think I'm confident to say that a lot of them fall under number 8, that they can always challenge me, they can always say something when I'm wrong, that I will always solicit their ideas, and that before I make a decision, I also ask them, do you think I'm doing the right thing? That's psychological safety. So very good. I see a lot of people, Vianney is in number 5. Why in the middle? But I see a lot of people saying number 8, number 7, Charles Paul is number 9. That's very good. Right? And again, this is self-assessment, right? So it depends. The reality may be different from the status quo, from your perspective, your ivory towers, right? So that's between you and your employees. My next question is between you and your leader, you and your manager, because you're also an employee, right? How psychologically safe are you when interacting with them? So this time, give me another number so that I can see the difference between the question a while ago and the question here now. Could you please type letter S first in the beginning? S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Because I don't want to jumble it together with the other answers a while ago. So how safe are you when interacting with your boss, with your department head, with your leader? Okay. S9, Eros, okay. S7, S6. Not far. Very good. Well, if you feel psychologically safe with your manager, that's very good, because that means you know that you can always approach your manager anytime. And that's what we want to happen in the first place. Pot Padilla says S10. So S10 is like bordering to a good level of friendship with your manager, because you feel safe that you can say anything, right? Even ask out your manager for coffee or for lunch. Okay, very good. So psychological safety works like this. The higher I go up, the more psychologically safe the person feels. At the bottom of it is the opposite, wherein you tell to yourself, I'll just follow everything that my manager says because it's what's going to please him or her. If I deviate from what she wants, she might get mad. So I will not say anything. I'll shut up. And then you can go further, because that's the feeling of being unsafe. If it's in the middle, you can feel like, maybe I can raise this idea, perhaps not to my boss, but to another colleague, just to sound it off and see how they respond. Or maybe to someone else who's nicer to me. So there's a higher level of psychological safety now, but the employee is still very selective. Selective in what he says, selective in which people are going to listen to his ideas and challenging of, questioning of thoughts. So selective. And at the top of the pyramid, of the line, is psychologically safe, wherein you tell yourself, my team appreciates that I think out of the box and I can contribute solutions. That's really when you say that someone is psychologically safe. So for those who were responding a while ago, can I get a response here? Which of the three categories do you think you fall under? This is another way of doing the 1 to 10, but this time I placed labels into it. Do you today versus your entire company, do you feel unsafe, selective, or safe? Right? Could you please type? Unsafe, selective, or safe? So my answer here would be sometimes I feel selective, but I often feel safe. And again, I don't have my own boss because I manage my own business, but my bosses will be my clients because my goal is to satisfy and give the best service I can have with my clients. I will have clients most of the time that are in the safe zone. And I also have some clients wherein I'm sometimes on the selective zone. I ask myself twice, and I also ask for advice from my team when I feel unsafe with a client who dictates everything. I do have, you'll be surprised guys, but I do have clients who tell me the font size of my presentations. I have clients sometimes who tell me, do not use this word. And sometimes they are realistic requests, but you know, for someone who's been doing this for 7 years, I've had many unrealistic requests from certain clients as well. So I see a lot of people saying safe and some people saying selective. Some people are saying more safe, sometimes selective. Now, how do we contextualize this in remote leadership? In the context of not being able of seeing your manager in the office every day, it is similar, but the context may be different, such as my boss is very busy and asking for a telecon meeting might disturb him. So what do? I will not do the job, or I will wait for him to ask me first before I move. Exclamation point. Can you relate to that sometimes? Because you can't nudge your manager anymore. It takes you an extra step. It's either you send him a message on WhatsApp and it will take him a few minutes or an hour to reply. It's not as easy as nudging your manager because your cubicles are right in front of each other, right? So that's one. That also is unsafe. And then in the context of remote work, you can also think of, maybe I can schedule a meeting for tomorrow or next week. Asking now my manager might be too much. I don't know what he's doing. He might be in another telecon. He might be in another Zoom meeting. So you have a level of feeling safe, but you're still selective, right? And then finally, what you want in remote work is feel this way. This task is urgent. I know it's urgent because I know the consequence, and my manager needs to know this immediately. So I will send him a message on WhatsApp or Viber. If he does not reply in the next 1 hour, I will contact him in a different way. Either send him an SMS, do a phone call because this needs to be worked on. And that's where you feel safe, right? That is psychological safety. And it's really sad because remote work now placed a different barrier, an extra layer for communicating with other people. And what you want as a leader is to take out that layer, strip off that feeling that just because you don't know what I'm doing, suddenly I have become unapproachable to you, right? Yep, I like this response from Jaiza. It's so sad when it's supposed to be a given. That's true. It's supposed to be a given because we know ideally, based on textbooks, based on research, that it's supposed to be what's happening, but personalities unfortunately are different. And I think that also makes life exciting sometimes, but yes, it can be very frustrating. All right. So again, you cover yourself and say, which of the line of the arrow do I fall into? And I hope you guys fall under safe. You ask yourself right now, if you are an employee, whenever I need to raise something to my manager, even if it's an extra layer of sending a Viber message, do I feel safe that I can do it? Or do I just tell myself, let me just wait for it tomorrow. Maybe he will talk about it in our meeting. That's psychological. That's lack or absence of psychological safety.